Camarillo, a black belt under Ralph Gracie, calls John Fitch the most dedicated martial artist he's ever worked with. Neiman Gracie has earned 8 of his 9 professional wins by submission.
Now set for his walk to the cage, Neiman Gracie.
Don't sweat the technique.
Now a second-degree Gracie Jiu-Jitsu black belt. He received his black belt at age 22. He said he's been competing since he was a kid. Former Bellator welterweight title challenger, 7-1 inside the Bellator cage. Born in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, living in New York City, Neiman Gracie.
And now ready to make his way, John Fitch.
You wired me awake and hit me with the hand of broken leg.
Big John, this is still one of the greatest quotes in mixed martial arts history. John Fitch, I will pulverize you into a bloody mess and enjoy every moment of it.
I love that.
This is the best.
Not only does he say things like that, then he comes out to Johnny Cash. How much better can it get?
And happy 18th anniversary of fighting, John Fitch. Our tale of the tape for this, our co-main event of the evening. 42-year-old Fitch against 31-year-old Gracie.
That's what you're looking at. You know, John Fitch has been there and done it, been in it against the best, but at 42, can he come and get one more victory against Neiman Gracie?
We are about to find out, and here is the voice, Michael C. Williams.
Here at Mohegan Sun Arena, Bellator MMA is set for tonight's co-main event. 3 5-minute rounds in the welterweight division. Live on Paramount Network. Introducing the blue corner. At 6 foot, weighing in 170.8 pounds, just off his world title challenge, he returns with 9 professional victories, just 1 defeat. Fighting out of New York, by way of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, presenting Neiman Gracie. And across the cage, his adversary, fighting out of the red corner. At 6 foot, weighing in 170.5 pounds, the veteran former champion comes off a world title fight as well. Entering tonight with 32 professional victories, 7 losses, 2 draws. Fighting out of San Jose, California, introducing John Fitch. In charge, your referee, Kevin McDonald.
Kevin McDonald, our referee. John Fitch, looking for career win number 33, Neiman Gracie, tied for number 2 with 6 submissions inside the Bellator cage. Here we go! Tonight's Fight Clock brought to you by Geico. Fitch in the red gloves comes out southpaw. Gracie in the blue gloves.
Full disclosure, John Fitch has been one of my training partners for 18 of the 18 years he's been a fighter. It's like, just full disclosure.
So if you say something good,
yes,
that means that we've been warned. Got it.
Yes.
How often has he trained southpaw?
You know, he actually started that with Jake Shields because he realized that Jake Shields was going to try to take him down. His wrestling position was better from that position. This is how he wrestled at Purdue University.
Kept his fighting a secret way back when from his family for 3 years.
When
nice,
he was
nice job.
when he was in the UFC.
Yeah.
Did you see that nice little dip and movement of the head for John to get inside? That's when you're talking about a guy with a ton of fight experience and a very high fight IQ.
He's a guy who keeps detailed logbooks on all of his opponents.
So he does not just his opponents, he does journals for every camp. He also does diet journals for everything he does. So he also has, he's somebody, honestly, there's a lot of things that I could say about him, but the one thing is he's very meticulous about the things that he does throughout his camp because he knows when he's done fighting, he wants to do a cookbook, he wants to do a training, he wants to do training videos and DVDs, whatever it is that's available at the time. But those are all things that he.
But how good of a cook is he?
He's got some pretty good food, though. I've
there you
been
go.
over a couple of times for some barbecues.
His book,
VHS.
Failing Upward, Death by Ego, kind of puts John Fitch into perspective.
Well, we talk about John Fitch, and grind is the word that you associate.
Embrace the grind.
You take and you look up the word grind, you're going to see a picture of John Fitch next to it, because that is his style of fighting. He grinds you to the point that he breaks you. Right now, Neiman Gracie, he likes being in close, and that's a nice takedown. We'll see if he can keep it. Going for the leg.
This is where he had some problems when he fought Palhares. John Fitch has only been submitted twice in his career. One time to Josh Berkman, one time to Palhares.
We talked about this earlier, you and I, Josh. We talked about, I said, do you think his legs are susceptible, since Neiman Gracie has been really working on a lot of leg lock techniques? I thought that Neiman would actually go after his leg in this. He's got a good attempt here. He has the ability at that inverted heel hook.
And this is the position that he got stuck in with Palhares. He made the wrong rotation and turned it right into a knee bar.
And that is the specialty of Husamar Palhares.
Well, what we saw yesterday as well with Ed Ruth. Ed Ruth was still dry, and that's a good time to attack those leg submissions when you're going for the ankle locks or heel hooks.
Can't just slide that leg out. You can put the foot on the butt, but there's just no slide comparative when you're sweaty.
And pretty impressive that Neiman Gracie is tied for #2 on the list of most submissions in Bellator history in 8 fights. 7 wins, 6 submissions.
It shouldn't be a surprise to you.
Well, I'm just saying he's done good work.
The last name, Gracie. No, but we had a chance to talk with him this week, and when we did talk to him, I said, what makes your jiu-jitsu so much different? He said, well, from the beginning, I knew that I wanted to be a fighter. And so he's geared his game, his whole career, his whole time of learning jiu-jitsu, not to be just competition, okay? Learning how to be an MMA-type fighter in jiu-jitsu. And that makes a huge difference in his position, as we're seeing here against John Fitch.
Hickson's Katie said actually the pressure has helped him become successful.
I talked to Henzo last night. He said, you don't understand. He said, the last 2 fights, he has just matured as a person since fighting Roy McDonald, since having a good win against Ed Ruth. You see it here against John Fitch. These are not positions that John Fitch finds himself in. Normally, he's the one in these type of positions.
Nice job by Jumbo. He's got to protect his arm.
Armbar there, and then he was also going for the leg lock as well.
That arm is still trapped. He has the ability to make this work. He just needs to take his time, work at breaking that grip that John has.
So what Neiman's doing very well is how he's holding his hips there, so he's not able to go hip escape and belly down to stack him back into position. This is a great technique, and he's being very patient, like John was saying. Most guys will try to rush it, the arm will slip out, and he'll lose it.
42 fights, only been stopped 5 times.
This is
when you got Gracie
expect.
tattooed on your back, it's probably pretty good with some.
You would expect this from Neiman Gracie, though. Like I said, his jiu-jitsu has been geared around MMA, being able to take strikes and still achieve to be a black belt.
Yeah, there's a big difference between sport jiu-jitsu and fight jiu-jitsu.
10 seconds. And we're seeing it right now.
We certainly are. Good first round for Neiman Gracie.
Stop.
Tonight's Corner Cam is brought to you by Boost Mobile, a brand new way to mobile.
Boost Mobile's new upgraded network has a stronger signal and faster speeds. It's not just fast, it's super fast.
We like it, but how can we say it's more than super fast?
Boost Mobile's upgraded network, it's fast.
Curious, how do you spell EU?
Get Boost Mobile Shrink It Plan and watch your bill shrink to $35 per month after just 6 on-time payments. Plus, get a free Samsung Galaxy A11 when you switch. All on our new upgraded network. Boost Mobile.
Crazy Bob Cook with John Fitch as we get set to start round number 2.
Bob Cook's been in my corner almost my whole career.
And he's one of the best. Bellator, once again, we'd like to thank the dedicated professionals at Hartford Healthcare for all of their work with our COVID-19 testing and screening. For more information, go to hartfordhealthcare.org. More on Crazy Bob Cook, John.
Yeah, so Bob Cook's been in the corner, but he heard exactly the type of instruction that John and I always talk about. Your corners being truthful to you and saying, look, that was probably his round. So go out there and get what you need to get done.
More than one.
Gracie has not fought in just about 14 months or so. Suffered a broken hand in training.
Nice, Neiman.
And was unable to fight Kichi Kunamoto in Hawaii. Both men coming off of fights with Rory McDonald. Fitch's was a majority draw.
So I'm going to be honest here. What you saw was Fitch went back to his orthodox stance, and what that meant to me was that he didn't plan on wrestling in that round. So we saw there, he came out with more strikes, tried to get to the clinch. Neiman was the one that was the aggressor on the takedown.
And when you suffer a broken hand in training and your last name's Gracie, that tells you that you're much more than just a jiu-jitsu guy, John.
Yeah, he broke it, and it happens, you know, when you hit someone on the head, heads are hard, hands have small bones, and he broke it extensively, and it took a while for it to heal, but what he's doing right now, look, he's starting to dominate this fight. And if you're getting in positions where you're dominating John Fitch, you are proving that you are an elite fighter.
Yeah, because we've seen guys like Rory McDonald who looked like he wanted to get out of the fight because John was just chasing him down, takedown after takedown, and Roy just looked flustered and frustrated.
And late in the fight against Rory McDonald for Neiman Gracie, Neiman started to really push the pace and come on. Built his confidence over the time. He said, you can't always try to finish, you got to be more calculated. But man, it was impressive. And we saw Neiman Gracie against Ed Ruth in Hawaii back in 2018 in the opening round of the welterweight World Grand Prix, and that was ultra impressive.
That was eye-opening for, I think, the whole world.
Yes.
You're taking down someone. I think he took down Ed Ruth 2 to 3 times. Yeah, 3 times is what John is saying. 3 times he took him down. You're talking about a 3-time national champ out of Penn State. That's very impressive. And he looked so good in that fight, calm, composed. And we saw him when he started this round, bouncing around on his feet and letting his hands go.
It's exactly what you were talking about earlier, though. He did not start jiu-jitsu to be a sport jiu-jitsu competitor. He went to jiu-jitsu to be a fighter. And this is the difference. Jiu-jitsu guys in the past could never take wrestlers down with a righteous takedown. They could roll into an Imanari or things like that to get into the ground, do something, maybe hit him with a punch to put him down, but they could not use a wrestling technique type takedown. Now you're seeing guys like Neiman Gracie using good technique and getting good wrestlers on their back.
Ended up with a rear naked choke finish of Ed Ruth in round number 4. Round 2 here.
John back to the southpaw stance.
He landed a very solid elbow off of the fence there. That backed Neiman off for a second.
Yeah, but John has a habit of giving his back, being able to like people, kind of like slide people off the top when he gets sweaty.
Well, he's so good at it. You know, you can go back to his fight with, you know, he had a fight with Damian Maia. Damian Maia was on his back, and Damian Maia is one of the very best jiu-jitsu practitioners that has ever been in an MMA cage, and he was unable to submit John. John is hard to submit, and you know, Neiman's going to find that out in all these positions that he's getting in. John believes that if he understands who he's against and what's going on, you're not going to be able to just take his back and submit him.
Another takedown.
Beautiful takedown.
Maia couldn't finish him. George St. Pierre couldn't finish him.
But then you have
Neiman Gracie.
You have Fitch who fought Jake Shields, who dominated Jake Shields from the top position as well. There was a couple good scrambles in that fight as well. We saw Jake Shields. You're seeing right here another couple good scrambles from him and Neiman Gracie. This is where John makes his living in the gym, and I'm being honest. He encourages this type of stuff because these are things that most jiu-jitsu guys don't see from this type of wrestling.
That leg is in danger once again. He needs to be careful with that left leg. You see him taking and arching that ankle back, pulling it back so Neiman can't force a straight ankle lock. He needs to be careful of that inverted heel hook.
No, but what he's doing is he pushed that leg to the other side so he could go reverse heel hook on this, or the inverted heel hook, as you like to call it. But what John needs to do is he needs to tripod up and push his hands to the mat. What Ed Ruth made the mistake last night of doing is letting his balance get taken forward.
They're talking to each other with smiles on the face. That's good. It is all over, just like that. The smile goes away, and the finish goes to Gracie. That was outstanding.
good stuff, Josh. Come on, man. No, you're good. You're the best ever. It's time for me to go home. No, Josh. I'm done.
Neiman. Knee bar, right?
Take a look at what's going on here. This is where he had his leg trapped. You see John's left leg under there. Look at where he's got the heel. He is knee barring and pulling on that with a twist. It's almost a connection of that heel hook, inverted heel hook, but the straight knee bar position. He's pulling and twisting that down. That is an inverted heel hook with the hips engaging that knee. That is a painful submission. Beautiful job by Neiman Gracie.
Yeah, so what you're going to see here is we're going to see John Fitch tilt himself forward so he can put the bottom of his foot flat to the canvas so that Neiman couldn't get underneath the heel to get to there.
And he tapped kind of off camera, our angle, if you will, with the left hand first. And of course, the finish goes to Neiman Gracie. Official decision coming up next.
Let's go to work. On Bar Rescue, The Dirty Truth, you'll see this. Learn this. Businesses don't have souls. And get the inside on this. I'm talking to you.
Bar Rescue, The Dirty Truth premieres Sunday, September 20th on Paramount Network.
I wanted my hepatitis C gone.
I put off treating mine.
Epclusa treats all main types of chronic hep C. Whatever your type, Epclusa could be your kind of cure.
I just found out about mine.
I knew for years. Epclusa has a 98% overall cure rate.
I had no symptoms of hepatitis C.
Mine caused liver damage.
Epclusa is only one pill, once a day, taken with or without food for 12 weeks. Before starting Epclusa, your doctor will test if you have had hepatitis B, which may flare up and could cause serious liver problems during and after treatment. Tell your doctor if you have had hepatitis B, other liver or kidney problems, HIV or other medical conditions, and all medicines you take, including herbal supplements. Taking amiodarone with Epclusa may cause a serious slowing of your heart rate. Common side effects include headache and tiredness. Ask your doctor today if Epclusa is your kind of cure.
Belly check? Really? You're right. I should get a delicious footlong from Subway. That would be better.
Now you look better, too.
Now get a free footlong when you buy two, because it's footlong season.
I'm a Verizon engineer, and I'm part of the team building a
powerful 5G experience for America.
It's 5G ultra wideband, and it's already available in parts of select cities.
Like Los Angeles.
And in New York City.
And it's rolling out in cities around the country.
With massive capacity.
It's like an 8-lane highway compared to a 2-lane dirt road.
25 times faster than today's 4G networks.
In fact, it's the fastest 5G in the world. From the network more people rely on. This is 5G built right, only on Verizon.
Fight number 43, the final fight of John Fitch's mixed martial arts career. The gloves go down. He has retired at the age of 42. Michael C. Williams to make this fight official.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, the tap comes officially 4 minutes, 47 seconds, round number 2 by way of a heel hook. He is the winner by submission, Neiman Gracie.
8 Bellator wins, 7 submissions. He is number 2 all by himself right now, one behind Koichi Yamauchi. Neiman with Big John.
Hey.
You then him.
John Fitch, you have had an incredible career in MMA. I've watched you fight for 18 years now. You have been a beautiful spokesman for the sport. You just put those gloves down on the ground. What does that mean?
It's been a long journey. My body's been through a lot. I got a lot of things I'm looking forward to in the future outside of the cage. It's just it's time to go. I said to myself years ago before I fought Jake Shields that if he won that night, I was going to be done. And I told myself the same thing after every fight. Until then, last fight was a draw. I had to come back. We had the opportunity. Neiman's the perfect guy to either beat or hand the crown off to. You know, hopefully I can come out to New York, help him train a little bit, help him polish up, and he'll beat Lima.
Well, I'll tell you what, I hope you saw everybody in this place right here standing on their feet, giving you a standing ovation, because that is what you have meant to the sport of MMA. Thank you for everything you've done.
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.
Neiman, I'm going to make this pretty quick and simple for you. You looked very relaxed in that fight. You started to really get your composure about halfway through the first round. At the end of it, it was a beautiful submission. You actually had him in 2 different submissions at the same time. He said, I'm an old man. Did he feel like an old man in there?
Oh, man, my head hurts from his elbows. He's one of the best welterweights of all time, you know. People maybe don't like his style, but he beat everybody, man. You know, and I think he beat Rory for the title fight. So I consider him a champion.
What, as far as you coming back, you broke that hand. That was a beautiful return to competition right here. Who is it that we should be seeing you match up next?
Or the champ, or someone that is right there, you know, because I'm here for the belt, and I will get it soon.
Well, that was a beautiful performance. Congratulations on beating someone like John Fitch.
I want to thank all my coaches. I want to thank Professor John Danaher, especially. He was one of the head coaches for this fight. All I did, I followed his system to get the leg lock, and you can do the same at home. So if you want to learn the same moves that I just did, you just got to buy his DVD and follow his system.
John Danaher, you just sold a bunch more videos. Back to you, Goldie.
Big John, thank you very much. And you know what else, Josh? Neiman Gracie stepped back so that Big John could talk to John Fitch first. That is cool.
Class runs in their family.
Yes.
They're the reason that we have this sport today. We thank them very much because it's given all of us an opportunity to make a living and live our dream.
And that 4th generation Gracie may very soon have a belt around his waist. There's John Danaher and, of course, Uncle Henzo. We go back to Jen and the American Gangster.
Well, thanks, Goldie. Chael, he just talked about selling DVDs if you want to fight like him. I think he sold a lot by making that statement.
Yeah.
You know, we had a veteran say goodnight tonight, and we welcomed in the new blood of Neiman Gracie. We talked about his jiu-jitsu skills. I mean, it was on display that whole fight.
Yeah, Jen, if I may say just to John Fitch directly, but thank you. Thank you for the memories. Thank you for stepping in there and doing the hard lifting. Thank you for taking on a young guy in a co-main event spot at 42 years old. When you do talk about Neiman Gracie, and I got to correct him. I think we've been calling him Neiman all night. It's Neiman, and his cousin Victoria just yelled it to me and corrected me. So I'm part of this too, but we'll start getting it right. When you go out and fight John Fitch and you get the only takedowns, you have showed something special. If you go out and fight John Fitch and you never get taken down, you have showed something very special. I also would like to pay him a compliment to his grit, determination, and his stamina. It was Gracie who was pushing forward. It was Gracie who was pressuring. Those are just things that you never say about the opponent of John Fitch. He really proved himself again tonight.
He really did. Well, that's our co-main, and it's a perfect segue into our main